Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your winter solstice reading. The solstice is on the 22nd of December, and as the longest night of the year, it is symbolic of the returning of the light. This is the light, the illumination, the revelation within, your inner truth, your inner fire. In the southern hemisphere, this is the summer solstice and is equivalent to the zenith of the light. The sun's blazing for the longest day of the year, and thus it's symbolic of finding our place in the sun, where we belong in the world, and claiming that. So in the northern hemisphere, where I am, we are entering into the winter months, the winter holidays, into this opportunity for silence, retreat, hibernation, if you will, within the pursuit of cultivating our inner truth, our inner light, our inner fire. I have a combination of the African Tarot and the Tarot of the Divine. I will clarify with the Crow Tarot and finish off with a couple of Oracle cards. And I primarily want to thank you for being here, for your time, and all the ways that you support me. So for you, Virgo, the Three of Swords is the overall energy. And as distressing as this card may look, it is actually an opportunity for self-healing here. This is your deeper exploration and piercing at the truth of your own behavior, the patterns of your behavior. This may be looking at patterns that you've exhibited from childhood, from your family of origin or formative years, in which you may have seen yourself as a victim, looked at your failures, looked at your disappointments and heartaches as something that was done to you. Instead, you have taken responsibility for your actions, for your deeds, and you have claimed and understood your part in what appeared to be the failure or disappointments from others. And you are now, through this willingness to own your experiences as those that you've, at least in part, created, move towards a deeper understanding of lessons you've learned along the way. So much so that you are understanding these lessons, these disappointments, these hardships as gifts that have brought you to some place of a fuller expression of your authentic heart, your authentic desires. This has released, cleared away false illusions about the things that you want and the things that are good for you, the things that allow you to express who you truly are and pursue the desires that are unique and authentic for you. In the present, we have the Three of Wands, another three in the past, the Nine of Cups, and in the future, the King of Wands. In fact, you're building something new, and it clearly feels as though it is a direct line from this clearing away the field of old desires that you felt were a part of what perhaps you thought you should want, or a response to others who desired you or something that you could provide. Your ability to clear that field of responding to the expectations and needs of others, and really creating and building some pursuit of your own desire, something that expresses your authentic and creative, imaginative self. These are resources that are natural and authentic to you, a way of expressing yourself that builds on your imagination, your creativity, your connection to your authentic and in many ways your inspired and inspiring nature. These have come perhaps as a result of some achievement that you have experienced. This can be real joy, real pleasure at not only recognizing this turn of events in your life, this changing of your focus of desire and goals. It can also be a fulfillment of something that has always felt good to you. This may be a relationship. This may be an environment in which you've been able to experience an alignment with your true desires. This can be a career path that you've taken that has allowed you to employ your interest in pursuits that are aligned with your own authentic, rich talents. These are your imaginative talents. There's a strong creative vibe coming from your present situation. And that satisfaction has not just been in the fulfillment that you've received through your work. This can also be through your relationships more recently that have led you to this emboldened approach, this confident approach to an aspect of leading regarding something that you want to build, something that you are in the process of creating. And the satisfaction not only of the emotional fulfillment, but that you're doing something that aligns with your desires and needs. This is raising your own confidence in your ability to lead in a specific way, to persevere, to be determined, to be successful. In the past, the Nine of Cups has been clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. And this Ten of Pentacles, this notion of legacy, inheritance, contributing to the abundance of a collective, a group, a family, a legacy is something that has been consistent for a while for you. And this feels as though it comes out of the work that you do. This is work that is very fulfilling, has fulfilled you on a personal and even individual level, has aligned you with things that feel good, that inspire you, that are emotionally fulfilling. However, you're accessing a change in this direction, and that change is in your positionality towards this largesse, this inheritance, which can include a cultural as well as a family or ancestral heritage that you are now in a position to give back to contribute to in recognizing all that you've gained, to give back, to make the gifts of this legacy, the lessons of this legacy available to more people. This is about generating abundance and keeping that generative quality operable and expanded. It's interesting that you do this through the very incisive strength of your rationality and logic, Virgo. This is where your attention to the details of your even emotional quest, your desire for pleasure, for things that are emotionally satisfying and enriching, are tended to with absolute care by pushing aside your personal emotions and feelings and looking at the way that you can facilitate this legacy, the gifts of this legacy for others, how you can logically promote and encourage. This is about teaching, spreading information about, sharing your ideas, and being curious about your own assumptions, your own beliefs, in a way that expands upon the shared beliefs of this collective on whose behalf you are working. In the present, the Three of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Swords and the Chariot card. Yeah, so this ability to be thoughtful and direct, intentional with your words, your language, is really about liberating yourself to do the work that is most significant to you, to pursue the goals that no longer are clothed in the conventions or conformity of your profession, your work, or your field, or even your relationships. This is about being free to be yourself, understanding that it is only your own interests and talents that have gotten you to this position of being able to expand and build on this legacy. And in so doing so, you are opening up and acknowledging, being recognized for your authority, but also for your ability to facilitate conversation, dialogue, discourse around ways to move forward with intention. But you are channeling that with the clarity of your focus and intention. You're liberating yourself from all the concerns that are attached to your work, perhaps, to your relationship, and really giving yourself permission to be your unique and original self. This is not trying to fix all the dimensions. I'm using your profession as examples, and I'm going to stick with that. But you're not concerned about fixing all the brokenness of perhaps an institution or an organization or a department that are dysfunctional. You're putting your focus on what has been working for you and what you see you can build. And that's what's authoring this sense of being who you are, not trying to fix the things that don't work, but only pushing forward, almost galvanizing the collective discussion and discourse around the achievement of your goals. In the future, the King of Wands is clarified by the Magician and the Ten of Wands. Woo, okay. It's interesting how moving forward into the presence from this sense of authority that you have, the sense that you have everything that you need to create exactly what you want, and that this is an expression of your experience, is accompanied by this tremendous release and this momentum towards releasing responsibilities and obligations that don't belong to you. And that feels very much tied up to this appreciation of the way in which you can contribute to a particular legacy, but also the way that in taking up and assuming the responsibilities for generating the access to these resources, these ideas, this heritage, you are actually letting go of obligations that don't belong to you. You're clarifying and changing this sense of responsibility, perhaps that came with your ability to pierce the pleasure, the alignment with things that felt good with you, even though you were involved in carrying a heavy load on behalf of others. This can be other loved ones, colleagues, family members, responsibilities that adhere to your position in an organization or an institution that were dragging, that were depleting your energy, that were diminishing your focus. And it's interesting that as you claim greater responsibility for the gifts and the legacy that you are now perceiving you have benefited from, you're actually releasing obligations and responsibilities that don't belong to you. This comes from, in part, your clarity and about your intention and focus. And that is giving you the confidence to know that you can build and create what it is that is what you see as the greatest way to maximize access, to build abundance, to generate new ideas about the way this legacy can move forward, shedding more light, empowering more people in the process. I'm going to pull a Starry Beginnings Oracle card and ask you, if you're resonating with this video so far, to please like this reading, share this with others who may benefit from it, comment below, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I've pulled Feel and Release. Feel, release all you've accumulated on this journey. Interesting. So yes, the tens here are anchoring the sense that there is a huge transition as well as a letting go. And I'm also going to pull a flora and fauna of Africa, as much to honor the motherland as to remind us that we are benefiting from the work our ancestors do to support us and prepare us. And I pulled the praying mantis. And the flower that goes along with that is the stone crop, a sedum, a wonderful healing sedum plant. And the key word is tranquility. The praying mantis reads, "Be still. Take time to regroup so you can perform at your best. With patience, success will happen just in time." I love that. And I'm now going to clarify the past, the Ten of Pentacles with the Death card, and the Knight of Swords with the Queen of Cups. Part of what is facilitating this major transition in your life is this awareness that you are coming into a rebirth. And this rebirth is happening as a result of your tending to your needs, of your healing yourself, of your giving the things that give you pleasure, of the satisfaction and contentment you feel as a result of giving yourself the things that feel good to you, aligning yourself with those things, aligning yourself and doing what is best for you. This represents a big change in your approach professionally and personally. There has been a way in which you may have shrunk away from things that felt good personally in order to sacrifice for your profession, or vice versa. Whichever way it worked, you're now recognizing that it is not an either or. It's not a zero-sum game, that you can have both pleasure through your professional expression and your personal relationship life as well. And healing yourself in that regard, or desiring to change that story, is allowing you to attend to things that make you feel better, that heal you, and the forgiveness of perhaps errors and mistakes that you've made along the way. Recognizing these patterns of behavior that really had you thinking that you had to invest in some kind of an illusion that you now recognize did not support your desires. You're moving towards success. And perhaps that is in particular towards your relationships. Here you are calling out this rebirth that you have brought in through this ability to be compassionate with yourself. In the present, the Queen of Swords is clarified by the Three of Wands, a repeat. I like that. And the Fool card for the Chariot. Your ability to start something new, to create something, to turn your talents towards the world or the unfamiliar world, because it feels to me as though you have been employing your talents quite productively in your familiar profession or line of work. But there is an opportunity now for you to turn that work, that effort, those results towards a less familiar aspect of the world in sharing what you have with others. This is turning you towards a very new adventure. This is taking you to a place that you might never have imagined you would have gone. This is opening up an opportunity that allows you to express the faith that you have in yourself and the trust that you have in yourself, that no matter where you go, your project, your purpose can be experienced productively, and that you can overcome any obstacles that you encounter. You're emboldened by your success here. You're confident that you can create what you need to create wherever it is needed. In fact, you're lusting for expansion and growth. Now that you have turned your attention towards the desires that authentically resonate with who you are, what your talents and gifts are. In the future, the Magician is clarified by the Six of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, a repeat. I always see these angles as the beginning and the ending, and you're coming full circle towards what feels to be very much a function of your purpose or your destiny. It feels to me as though you've always been working in the direction of this cultural or legacy. This is larger than a personal inheritance. Perhaps it was seeded by an inheritance, an actual financial largesse that got you going, that empowered you to pursue this path of legacy. But this has grown into something much more, much larger, more important than your personal benefit, and has grown into your purposeful and intentional desire to share this with as many people as need this. So that you are, even though you're creating something uniquely, you're leading something, you're building something, you are committed to the collective experience of these gifts, of this heritage. You are willing and able to work on teams, to devise teams and groups of people that are working towards this greater discourse, this greater access and focus on ways to build this legacy out into the world. I'm going to finish up this reading with a Language of Flowers oracle card, and I have pulled the heliconia, a beautiful pineapple-looking plant, and the key word is realization. The answer is here. Take heed. Thank you so much, Virgo. Until next time, namaste.